Thank you. It just a point of information, each House member is allowed to carry 15 bills. If you do the math, there's 3 House members for each member of the Senate. That multiplies to 45 bills. So that's a little more than I like, but sometimes you kind of have to, just to take care of our House members, and we do try to work together. And as a chair of a committee, I have to have 5 transportation bills that, you know, the bridge and road naming, the license plate bill, as we've worked together on, and a number of those. But one issue that has been kind of top and center here in Knoxville is the closing of Renaissance Place. And while I don't believe, because of the deficit they've been running, that there's anything I can do to, while we've had conversations, but that I can do to keep it from closing. It's possible, but I'm not overly optimistic about that. But the problem has been is there had been no increase in the Choices rate reimbursement in 12 years. And that really is not acceptable. But we, in December and in January also, we meet with a lot of organizations talking about the upcoming session. And we meet with the folks in the mental health industry at Helen Ross McNabb and folks. We've met, of course, I've come from an intellectual disability background when I was at Sertoma for 25 years. It is an ongoing issue for a lot of our providers in these sectors, that there is not enough, and basically they're quasi-state agencies. They are doing the work that the state used to do in taking care of our elderly, our disabled, our folks with challenges with mental illness, and they're not able to pay the staff living wages, basically, because of their funding structure. So while there is some extra CARES money this year, there's going to be some improvements. I don't know if that is going to be able to be long-term. So I'm looking at trying to put together a bill that would do an in-depth study for those industries, and looking at the provider rates and what they're having to compete against with folks going and working at McDonald's for $12 or $15 an hour, and who they're competing against for finding employees, and what they're paying in some of the surrounding states, and really trying to get the data in so ultimately we can go back to the governor and to the commissioner of finance and say, hey, this really is your data. We can't not give some increases. If there's going to be some increases for state employees, we need to look at some kind of increases for these quasi-state employees. So, but if you don't have that hard data, you can't do it. So I'm looking at trying to pull that together. The other thing I'm actually working on, we won't have anything this year, is I passed a child care task force bill last year, and I'm serving on that. Was at a meeting Thursday with that, and just looking at how there's not enough child care so people can go work for Eddie at his dry cleaners, or go teach or whatever. And so we're looking at how to look at access, affordability, and quality, and it's a great working group, and we'll be working on that all year, and so next year we'll come back with some recommendations. Beyond that, I've got a number of other bills, but those are kind of key things I'm working on this year.